Ghostpaw.
To the stars up above, and the moon that watches me so, I apologize for the horror that you must endure. I know what you must witness every single night. It must sicken you so. For the events I unravel, and so scars the beauty of this blue marble planet. I acknowledge that. I trespass against you, but it is my duty to seek out the wicked and extinguish their souls. 4 years now you have chronicled my time, from the first night I was spawned to this very moment I speak, absorbing all that I do without so much as a blink. I remember clearly the night I was masked. You, my dear moon, were lovely and red. It was the eve of the Hollows, and mischief was afoot. I was a young man then, filled with foolish pride. I had just finished my work and had stepped out to smoke. The air was crisp and whispered with laughter. Ghosts and goblins and other small horrors lined up the streets in search of such delicious treats. I remember grinning to myself, thinking about the nights when I searched for candy. Instead of the depraved. To think on it now, how many of them were real? How many in danger? I'll never really know. I placed the cigarette up to my lips and pulled out the lighter from my pocket, when a string of tricksters came rushing past me. I snapped at them, shaking my fist in rage. There had been 5 little ones. They dressed in a manner I had not seen before, but they are burned into my mind, forever a reminder of what life used to be. There was a child dressed in green and brown. She looked like a wooden toy. Her mask was beautiful, but filled with sorrow. Upon her shoulder perched a raven. I could swear it was real. Upon her hip she carried a scythe, something no child should have. The second was a boy, who was dressed in blue and white. His mask intrigued me so, for it looked to be that of an octopus, but shelled like a crab. He held on to a spear, possibly a trident. The third was a boy who dressed in light blue and light green. His tunic and shorts seemed to move on their own, very lightly, but there was no wind about. He carried with him a bow, but no quiver. But it was his shoes that caught my eyes even more than his garb, for they had upon them wings that moved. It was a sight to see. The fourth was a young lady whose hair was bright as the sun. She wore armor that was tinted with red and orange. A young warrior whose mask bore many scars. She carried with her a bearded axe that resembled the flames. My God, what were these children doing with such weaponry? Finally, the 5th child came to pass. Boy or girl, I could not figure that out. But the child wore robes, half black and half white. The mask terrified me so, much more than the rest of the others, for it was like the robes, split in both black and white. The white half was that of a youth, the other a skull. It had the most disturbing grin I had ever seen. This youth carried no weapons, but instead held a tome in one hand and an hourglass in the other. I stood there, gawking like a buffoon, watching as the children ran to the end of the street. They stopped just before the end and turned down an alleyway. As they went down that way, they all turned to me and motioned for me to follow, each one beckoning me to follow, their gaze never breaking. I was entranced. I didn't know what to do. To this day, I don't know if what I did was the right choice. But regardless, I followed those children, and with them came the mask. What they did to me, the horrors I endured. My skin still burns just thinking of that night. The 5 trials, they called it. The nerve of them. I completed each trial, but just by the skin of my teeth. And for that, I was rewarded. Or cursed. I still don't know what to say. With a mask of any aspect I would like. There were so many that I could not list them all. But, in the end, I knew what I wanted to choose. To be a hunter, I thought, for that is what I am. I needed to be strong, stealthy, and have a strong nose for detection. Once I had chosen, I was made to listen to the story of the world. How beneath the layer of reality, what others see, there are others that lurk about. This has always been. They both flow seamlessly, going about their way. However, there are times when the realities collide and things spill over. When this happens, it is up to me to clean them up. So many times have I been called upon to set things right, but alas, it has taken its toll. The horrors I've seen, the horrible things I have done, all in the name of normality. But what is normal? Oh, you who sit up above and have watched what I have done, do you judge me? Will my life ever become normal again? Have I slipped too far from the reality I once knew? Maybe one day I'll look up upon you and forget the horrors of this life. But until then, I must apologize for what I'm about to do. It seems as though there is a young lady in need. She has been taken by something evil, and I must correct it. Maybe tonight it will be the night that my claws don't get bloody. But by the smell of it, I truly doubt it. Hey you, Ghostpaw here, and I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this story because it's part of a bigger series that'll be coming out very soon. I'd really love to know what you guys think about it. If you like the story, don't forget to hit that like button, leave me a comment, share with your friends, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can catch more of my spooky tales. And remember, when you see the moon, howl. Howl!